Good evening, everybody. This is Mr. Heat from Cub Scout Pack 110, and it is time for another exciting adventure in knots and how to tie them. So what we're going to be working on today is a knot that is part of some of your adventures, specifically the Webelos 1 Camper Adventures, and that is to show how to tie a bowline and explain when this knot should be used and why. Teach it to another scout who is not a Webelo scout. As you can see from the picture, when to use a bowline is all the time because it's awesome. You can use it to tie up a hammock. You can use it to tie up your brother, your sister, whatever. So the word that we're actually talking about when we say it is the bowline knot. Now, it is not the bowline knot. We are a salty folks, people. We are talking about knots. We are talking about sailor talk. This is not the bowline. It is the bowline. Just like it is not the forecastle. It's the forecastle. It is not the gun whales. It's the gunnels. It is not the boatswain. He's the bosun. So talk like a sailor, kids. Get yourself some books. Learn some knots. The bowline. Now, when we talk about the bowline, almost everybody that's learning how to do the bowline talks about something, and you'll hear people, and as soon as you hear them talking, you know what they're talking about. They're going to talk about a tree and a rabbit or a squirrel and a burrow, and that's not going to make a lick of sense. So what we're talking about is a tree and the ground. We're going to talk about a little squirrel that's coming up out of his burrow underneath the tree. Why did I draw a picture? Follow along at home, kids. So let's take our tree and turn it upside down. This is going to help us get our bowline laid out properly. We're going to need a couple of things. We're going to need a rope and enthusiasm. Let's go. We're going to start off by taking our rope and making our tree. Next, we're going to make our burrow. And I'm just going to stop there. Pay attention to where the rope is. The rope, the ground, is in front of our tree. It is not back here. Our tree is not going in front of our ground. That's the biggest difficulty that you'll have as a new scout learning how to tie the bowline. You want to make a loop where the ground of our bowline picture is in front of our tree. Now we're done. And you can see we made the burrow. So let's take our tree and our burrow. Now, what's going to be in our burrow? A squirrel, a fox, a rabbit, whatever you'd like. Now he is going to peek his head out of his burrow. So there's our squirrel. He's going to peek his head out of his burrow. He's going to get scared. He's going to go around the tree to hide. And then he's going to go back down the burrow. That is the bowline knot. You just did it. It's a piece of cake. Now the bowline knot is one of the best knots if you need to put a loop on the end of something, because it's so easy to untie. Even if the knot's been pulled and there's been so much tension put on the rope that you usually have a really snug knot, it has this great little loop here. If you just kind of pinch everything together, you can almost take this loop and flip it down like a key, and it opens up the whole knot. Takes all the tension off. So we've got a tree, a burrow, and an animal. Let's say a rabbit. Let's go with a rabbit. I just realized that the squirrel would probably be inside the tree rather than the burrow. Let's get rid of our picture. Bowline. So our tree. Our tree is growing out of our belly button. We're looking at it upside down. We have a tree. We have a burrow. And we have the ground. Now our squirrel is going to come poke his head out of that burrow. He's going to get scared, go behind the tree, and then back down into his burrow. And then just pull him snug, and you've got yourself a bowline. Congratulations. Piece of cake.